Hello, everyone. It's Mike from MikeOnTheWaterTV. This Bass Nation season, starting tournaments 1 and 2 are going to be back to back. So I'm going to go over with you my 2-box system and 4-rod system, but there'll be a bonus rod to cover what we're doing. So tournament 1 and 2. So boxes first are this is a hard bait box, Gas King box. So this has chatterbait, has some jerk baits in it, crankbaits, and then I have some other things I can put in there. You're going to find too in this system that I tend to use snap swivels for just about everything, except for my Texas rig. This is the plastics box that I have. These are 3700 series boxes, if you're wondering. So this has a couple jigs in it, black and blue, green pumpkin, just some different stick baits, a few little terminal things down here, just some weights, different weights for a Texas rig. And I will go over my rods now. As you can see, the space behind me that we filmed the unboxing in is finally done. So this is kind of my bread and butter right here. This is my Texas rig, just a Senko with 3/16 weight pinned on a 7.3 or 7.2 medium heavy with 17-pound fluorocarbon on it. That's my go-to rod there. And then for a little more bottom contact, we got the good old Ned rig there on a spinning rod. That one's going to be 12-pound fluoro. Just for bottom contact, my Texas rig. If the bite gets hard, I'm throwing a Texas rig all day long. Just because that's what I trust, that's what I'm confident in. I'm kind of a slow, methodical fisherman. But this setup is for a co-angler because I'm fishing this season as a co-angler. So it's all the lakes I've never been to. These are all 10 tournaments, 10 different lakes I've never been to. I don't think I get any practice, so I just got to show up, and I have to just show up and fish, which is fine. And then I do have a couple reaction bites here, a little crankbait there, a little bluegill crankbait, square bill. That's for those outside weed edges, little pockets. Same with the Texas rig and the Ned rig. Those are going to be more slow down, fish what the boater is missing behind him slower. So, and then good old chatterbait or spinnerbait. They're just a white and chartreuse. I believe this is a Hank Parker chatterbait, or not chatterbait, spinnerbait. My bad. And again, all these are 7.2 medium heavy rods. And then if it's windy, I did throw this one in there, so this is a bonus fifth rod. Is my jerkbait rod specifically for that. This medium 6'9" for my jerkbait. That's a Berkeley Stunna. So we got that one. But let's go through these a little more specifically. The jerkbait's literally just for cold fronts if it's a weather thing. This is my wind rod, my spinnerbait. If it's windy outside edges, I'm throwing this. Cover water, get some bites. Kind of slow roll it, let it die. As a co-angler there. So there's that particular one. It's good covering. It's just good at covering water, stuff like that. Same with this one. This is more of a reaction. This is back to my chatterbait rod here. This is more for covering water, fishing a little quicker, more cover more ground, cover more water. But again, these are the rods I'm taking for the first 2 tournaments because they're back to back. One's one day, one's the next day. So again, this is Bass Nation tournaments. I don't know if I get any practice. I've never fished these tournaments. So and then with the Ned rig, this is going to be when I'm really slowing down, just to fish, just to cover, you know, more. Like that would be a replacement for like my Texas rig. If they're not eating something that big, you can have that. What I like to do with that, the Ned rig, is take like a single worm, cut it in half, and use that. It's a little chunkier profile, but it's still Ned rig small, so you can kind of bounce it on the ground. You can bounce it on the bottom and go a little slower through the weeds and whatnot. But yeah, this, I think I'm going to be fishing this a lot, the Texas rig here. I caught one of my biggest fish ever on this. It was a 6.5 pound largemouth, and he absolutely crushed it. So this is definitely a rod I'll be throwing a lot. Between this and, you know, depending on conditions here, but with all these rods, so as a co-angler, I'm making this simple. So you're covering, this will cover 80 to 90% of what I'm fishing. This is going to be kind of since first one's in May, it's like middle of May, so it's going to be spawn, post-spawn maybe, or even maybe pre-spawn, depending on how cold the water is yet. Just keeping it simple. It's 4 rods and then a bonus for my jerk bait, and that's just to cover cold fronts. If a cold front comes through before that and, you know, kind of shuts things down, I still got that to fish the outside edges. But with the rest of this, I'm fishing weed lines, I'm fishing docks, I'm fishing, you know, especially with the Texas rig and Nico rig, or the Ned rig, I mean, not Nico, the Ned rig, is going to be fishing slow, methodical, picking apart docks, picking apart grass lines, picking apart different things like that. But tournament fishing is going to be about adjusting. So especially as a co-angler, it's a little tough to do when you're not in control of the boat, but that's fine. I'm going to learn a lot this year. I'm going to go into it as, you know, a true rookie and see what I got. But again, thanks Kissel Rods for helping me out here with this. But this is my setup for the first 2 Bass Nation tournaments. And with that too, I'll let you know how the tournaments go. So come back for the next one here. But the tournaments should be interesting. Something I've never done before, and we'll be good to go. But if you're interested, follow along with the season, subscribe, and we'll go into some more depth. I'm going to do this for each set of tournaments because the tournaments this year, there's 10 tournaments, but there are 2 of them on a weekend. So it'll be 2, then a month, and then 2, and then a month. So it's 2 every month from May until September. And then there's a couple extra bonus ones in there. But I do have some other rods for that to take on those tournaments. But the nice thing I did, because you don't want a lot of stuff in a guy's boat, right, if you're a co-angler. So as a co-angler, I'm taking literally 2 boxes and 5 rods at the most. And I'm only bringing 5 because, like I said, I have snap swivels on pretty much everything except for my Texas rig. So it's easy to change stuff out. It's quick. I learned that a long time ago, trick I learned from my uncle. But yeah, if you want me to go into more depth about the system I have laid out with the 2-box system and the 4 rods for each tournament, I will gladly go into that more. Leave a comment and let me know that. Otherwise, this is my tournament setup for first 2 tournaments. So Lake Washington and Lake Jenny, these are going to be what I'm going with here. And so we're going to see what we got. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.